The stars have aligned and the boys are back. What is up with it, everybody? And welcome to The Bakery with YungD0nut. You already knew what it was because you can hopefully read. And if you can't, up in the top right corner, it kind of says The Bakery. But, you know, that's a lot to ask of you guys. And I'm not going to put that all on you within the first 5 seconds. But I hope you're having an amazing Monday. It's your boy, YungD0nut. And with us today is someone that is considered... Oh, wait a minute. There he is. So someone that is considered a god amongst smashers, I guess we could call it. You're a god amongst men at the very least. A n3zmodgod. Nez, Noah, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Doing pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on, bro. Really appreciate it. And like, I super love what you do. I think like, you know, you having people on here, talking to them and everything like that is super good for the community. I think we need more people like you that are, you know, trying to get these backstories because I care about them. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna, you know, want to tune into this and hear what you have to, you know, say to other people. And it's definitely something that I think it's really cool that you do too. So yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate the fuck out of that, man. I appreciate what you do, you know, fixing controllers out here, you know, making everyone, you know, not have to suffer through this UCF crisis that we all are focused on and finding our ways to John about. So
it's a interesting era that we're in now in Melee, you know. The game's been out for quite a bit now, dude. It's been out for quite a bit. So,
close to what? We're going past 15 years now? Is that what it is?
Dude, we're 18.
18? I can't even... Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's legal.
We're finally legal.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The game's legal, dude. Yeah, so the meta development has really come to an interesting place where, you know, controllers are what are sought after at the highest level of play.
Mm-hmm.
They're sought after at the highest level of play because of how many intricate differences there are from controller to controller. And it's so annoying. People like Mujo King, Armada, they have literally not entered tournaments because of their controller not working. So it's a serious matter. Like, it's a legitimate serious matter.
Oh, yeah.
And my job is to aim to get these controllers to be on like a good standard level so that they're not getting inconsistent inputs and that everyone's happy with the game. Everyone's happy with what the controller is giving them. And that's basically what I do. You know, I want to make everyone have a good controller to play this game on because this game's amazing, bro. You know this, I know this, we all know this. This game has been here for this long, and we know that this game has so much potential, and I don't want to see it go, dude. And we're gonna talk about it later, but I don't want this game to ever go because it's too sick. It's way too sick. So
I don't think I could have agreed with you more. The only people out here that are probably showing negative signs at that are the r/kappa users. But besides that, man, all I see is smiles and couldn't agree more. So a basic rundown, you know, who you are. For those that don't know, who is Nez? Give us a rundown.
So my full name is Noah Valdez. I basically have been in SoCal my entire life. I live here right now in SoCal, and I modify Genki controllers. My tag is Nez, and you know, I've been in the scene for about 4 years now, and being in the scene has taught me a lot, not only about myself, but now I'm in this whole other realm of creating my business. So it's matured me a lot. It's made me understand that, you know, the community is so much more than just the game. You know, there are outside aspects that I have really taken a liking to. You know, the social aspect, the business aspect, and trying to appeal to a lot of people. And then there's streaming, and I love streaming. So I stream almost every day on Twitch. I stream my controller work, and I also stream me playing Melee. I stream other games. I just got into Clone Hero. That's also
oh
such a sick
shit, yeah.
Dude, it's such a sick game. I actually
want to get that. Yeah.
Dude, it's so sick. Like the nostalgia, everything. I love it. So basically, I started my own business about 2.5 years ago, and that is Top Notch Controllers. And so basically, I will travel around the world, around the U.S., not the world yet, just yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I travel around the U.S. and I'll basically set up booths and I'll modify people's Genki controllers and basically make sure that people's problems that they have in game go away. And there are ways to make your controller better and to improve, you know, your technical proficiency in the game. And that's my goal.
I love it. What got you into Melee though? Like, how did you come across it?
So I've been into fighting games for quite a while now. Since I've been about 11 years old, I've been into fighting games, just in general.
And how old are you now?
I'm 20 right now.
You're only 20?
Yeah, I'm 20. I'm 20.
Fucking youngins out here. God damn it. Anyway.
Yeah, so I found out about Street Fighter from my older brother. And my older brother had come over one day and he just had Street Fighter. He just got it, and I was just in love with the game, right? So I had played Street Fighter actually for 4 years. So I played like very hardcore when I was like 12 to when I was 16, like super hard, like in tournament and everything. I would go to tournaments and I would try super hard, and I loved the competition. I loved competition. And while I was also doing Street Fighter and competing in Street Fighter when I was that young, I was also a boxer. So I was an amateur boxer, and you know, just the whole like me being a boxer and you know, just the whole fighting thing in general, it like I felt like fighting games had I had a sentimental connection to fighting games, like legitimately.
Okay.
And I was super into Street Fighter, and Street Fighter 5 kind of came out. Like when that was announced, dude, I was so bummed, dude. That game is so bad.
Yeah.
I hate that game, dude. It's terrible. And I basically told myself, like, look, Ultra Street Fighter 4 is a great game. I spent a lot of time on it. But the thing is I want something timeless. I want something that won't change and have balance patches every time. And I'm going to have to adjust my gameplay. I'm going to have to adjust my normals. I'm going to have to, you know, adjust to this new game. It's an entirely new game.
Preach it to the back row.
I don't even want to play, dude. Straight up. And that's when I found out about Melee. It's a game that's been out since 2001. People have still played it since. It has a thriving community. When I was in it, and you know, when I figured out about it in 2015, the community was thriving at the time, and it was something that felt super magical. It was like everyone knows that Melee magic, dude. When Melee captures you like that, dude, like it's indescribable. And to this day, it still captured me. Like I love the game. I played every single day for hours on end, and figuring out about Melee was honestly a catalyst of like switching off of Street Fighter, because I didn't like the way Street Fighter 5 was going. So I found Melee being that timeless game that I could, you know, want to put all those hours into without changing, you know, and that was something that I really, really wanted to do.
And so was it one of those, like, you know, you go to a Street Fighter tournament, but then you see there's Melee and you kind of start noticing, oh, look, there's a community for this game, kind of start integrating yourself more into that?
Yeah, it was like Evo. It was at Evo.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was like
that's a name drop. Damn.
Yeah, that's a name drop. It was yeah, there's actually kind of crazy. Evo 2013. I didn't go to it, but I got up at 8 a.m. and I like was watching all of Street Fighter 4 pools. Like I was watching all of it. Like 8 a.m. I wanted to see everything, and that's just how I was. I like set my alarm, woke up, and I watched everything. I remember I fell asleep like around like 1, just like watching it, 1 p.m. And I remember I woke up to everyone just getting absurdly hyped over this Yoshi player that was playing in Melee, because the streams had switched. The streams had actually switched at that time. So I woke up and the commentators were going nuts. Everyone was going nuts. And I woke up and I was like, what's going on? So I watched the rest of the match, and I was like, holy shit, this is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen. Like, this is like, everyone's getting more hype, and it seems like it's more magical than anything I've ever seen in Street Fighter before. And this is one match that I've seen, and I already feel like this. And then that match was over, and then Hungry Bucks came on and played, and I was like, oh, dude, fuck this game. Like, this game has literally no chance in the entire fucking world.
Oh, man.
This game is never going to survive. And I was a diehard Street Fighter fan. So I was like, this game is like so dumb, I don't even want to watch it anymore. Like, turned it off, like went into my room, like went to go sleep. And then a couple years later, when I found out about Melee, I rewatched the footage, and I was like, oh my god, this guy Omps is a fucking G, dude. And I was like, you know, I was so inspired by his performance at this one match. I still know this match to this day. I've watched it over 1,000 times. And that was where it all started, dude, you know?
Which match was this?
It was Amsa versus Allen. It was Evo 2013.
Ah.
Yeah. It was Evo 2013, and Amsa destroyed his Peach and then just 4-stocked his Sheik. It was like a 2-stock, a 3-stock, and a 4-stock on the 2 hardest matchups that Yoshi has in general. And I didn't even know that at the time, but when I started to figure that out, I was like, Jesus Christ, that's amazing that he did that. Like, that's fucking insane. You know?
So what, you bust into the basement, find that CRT, set up melee again, and start grinding?
Yeah, 100%. I actually, the TV that I'm using right now, I had this when I was a kid, when I was like a little kid. So I actually went to storage, we got it out and everything, and I've been using it ever since. And I definitely put Street Fighter on the back burner, and I started just grinding away. I knew like how to practice a fighting game because of Street Fighter. I knew you had to practice your combos, you had to get your neutral down. I knew I was ready to buckle down for all these things. And I also knew that like Yoshi wasn't a good character. And that was something that everyone was talking about at the time in 2015, that like Yoshi was not a good character. And he was like 12. Everyone was saying he was like 12th, like 13th, like
somewhere in the mid tiers, you know.
Somewhere around the mid tiers. Yeah, he was, and everyone was saying like you need to play like the top 8, you know. And I remember I was like playing with a couple buddies, and I was getting wrecked, dude. Like it felt weird because I would always do so well in Street Fighter, and then I was just getting wrecked in Melee. Yep. It's a story that everyone has.
Exactly.
Right?
Everyone's got to get their ass kicked before they kick ass, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And then I realized, like, holy shit, like, you know, this is going to be a grind. This is going to be a legitimate grind. Like, playing this character, getting everything down, the parries, the super armor, the double jump, cancels, getting all this platform movement down, the shield drops, all of that was going to be a super, super duper grind. And it was going to require 2-3 times the amount of work that a Fox player would have to put in, that a Sheik player would have to put in, you know, that all these top players, these top tier characters would have to put in. And I thought to myself, like, I was willing to do it because, you know, I've like been through a lot, like in my own personal life, like I've been through a lot, and I felt that if, you know, I've come all this way, that playing Yoshi shouldn't be that hard, you know, and I'm still right to this day that it's still not hard. And like playing Yoshi Melee is super hard, but you know, I've been through a lot, and I'm willing to take it. I'm legitimately willing to take it. All the losses, all the defeats, just to come out of it with a really, really dope character and show people that this game's fucking amazing and that this character has so much potential. So yeah, it's a lot of that, bro. It's a lot of that.
It's hard to call that a humble brag when honestly, like, that's just kind of, I feel like that's the mentality you need to get into Smash. You cannot get into it and just expect to be like top 10 in the world within your first fucking month, or else you're just an arrogant asshole. But at the same time, you definitely do have, you have a lot to be proud of playing a character that you don't see a lot of people playing, that, as you're saying just a second ago, does have all this untouched and unseen potential that is exciting to see more down the line. AMSA forever continues to amaze us with the things he does. Avalancer is fucking crazy as well. I have stuff about Yoshi that we'll touch on later, but I couldn't agree more that just giving yourself almost a struggle from the beginning is definitely something, you know, you give yourself that pat on the back every now and again, you know, go buy that value meal instead of the dollar menu shit every now and again. Be proud.
Honestly, dude. Sometimes, you know, it's a character pride too. I got a lot of character pride, and that's a lot of it. You got to love your character, dude. If you want to stick with your character, you have to have that character pride. You got to love him.
Unless you're a Falco player, in which case you're just going to switch to Fox in a few months. Don't worry about it.
It's a love-hate relationship with the Falco players.
That's an under fucking statement, I'll tell you. But, okay, so this is kind of... I ask this question to everyone because it's one of the most fun questions to ask anyone that plays a video game competitively ever, and it's the name creation. But I feel like I'm gonna go on the hard read here. Noah Ez Valdez, Noah Ez, yeah. Was it really that easy?
It was that. Yes, it's that easy. It's that easy. And I got it. I was inspired from 2 players. I was inspired from players. When I started the game, I was like, I need to find my tag. Like, I need to find my tag. I didn't like the one that I had in Street Fighter. The one that I had in Street Fighter was Inbounds, and that was just something that I got from like Xbox. I was Xbox, like, that was my gamer tag.
Yeah.
But I got n3z because of AMSA and Armada. Because AMSA's name is Masaya Chikamoto, right? So Masaya, right? What he did was he got the Masaya. He literally got the A from Messiah, went AM, and then SA for Messiah. you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I definitely see what you mean. He just did some mixes.
He like mixed and matched pieces of his name and then got the tag. And then I looked at Armada's tag and he did the same thing.
Yep.
With like Adam Lindgren. Like literally, if you spell Adam backwards, it's Mata.
Yep.
So
that's actually crazy. Wow. Didn't even think about that one.
And then Adam Lindgren, like he has the R, so obviously it's just like bits and pieces, right? So I was like, okay, so let me just do Nez. And then as far as the 3 goes, when I was like super young and I used to play the game, and actually when I got back into the game, I would play with my 3 brothers. And so that's the number right there. It's for my 3 brothers. And I thought it was perfect. So I played with the E and my 3 brothers. That always got me into the game and always made me love it since I was a little kid, even till now. It's just a little shout out to them. Like always gonna be there, you know?
That's actually so wholesome and depresses me at the same time, because I've had numbers in all of my like gaming alias side, or not even gaming, just online alias side that I've ever had. First tag that like I ever took seriously was like for DJing, and it was the created DJ, and the 3 or the E in the was a 3.
Was it 3?
You know why it was a 3?
Why?
Because you know what fucking video game you play on your stream every now and again that I used to be very, very into?
Third Strike?
No. Close. Well, not really, but no.
I play it on my stream.
You do. It's a game with a musical instrument.
Guitar Hero 3?
Yeah, I was so into Guitar Hero back in the day that the 3rd one was the only one I could get because it came out for the Wii. I was a Nintendo kid my entire life, so I never had like Guitar Hero 2 or like any of that. So we had the 3rd one, grinded the shit out of that, and then just, I don't know, I thought I was cool putting a fucking 3 in there. And then now this one's got a 0.
Yeah, Guitar Hero is so fucking dope, dude. And Legends of Rock was by far like the best Guitar Hero.
It so is. There's so many fucking stupid songs in Guitar Hero 2 that are way too hard. Like, you're out of your mind on Jordan.
They are pretty hard too in Guitar Hero 2, but they also are pretty hard in Guitar Hero 3. Like legit, bro. I just passed through the Fire and Flames intro, like FCing it for the first time like a week ago.
I couldn't even do that back in the day. You can.
It was my goal one day to land it, and I landed it. So that's crossed off the bucket list.
Did you? What was that song? You were playing a Paramore song a few days ago. Did you ever get the FC on that?
I don't think I did.
No, you were coming so close.
I think. I don't know. I might have, but I don't remember.
We gotta see that get done. This is important to me. This is important.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be grinding.
Let's go. But well, that actually does bring up a good follow up. Was you already talked about other competitive games you played? You played Street Fighter, and that's what led you into Melee. But now, even we're in 2019, and we see this guy out here grinding on Guitar Hero. What other games do you consider to play competitively, or at least put all this time into to see progression for?
So, I'm a big proponent of investment. Like, I never have wanted to play a lot of games. I've wanted to play very few games, but be very skilled in those few games. So I literally just have Street Fighter and Melee, 100%. I grind these games, like, a lot. And I, put a lot of time in Street Fighter, a lot of time into Melee, and I'm fine with that. Like, adding Guitar Hero to like me playing the games is honestly super sick, because it's like time off of playing Melee, and it feels good, feels refreshing to kind of come back to it after I play like another game. But for the most part, dude, I'm very, very big on wanting to invest a lot of your time into one game, and I think that it's, now I'm in like a phase of wanting to play more games because I'm streaming and it's just more entertaining sometimes. Right. And, more people are just like, yo, Nez, you got to get this, you got to get that. And I'm like, you know what? Like, yeah, but I mean, dude, this game's so sick. Like, I just want to play more Melee. Like, whenever I play any game, I just want to play more Melee.
I definitely know what you mean.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at as far as video games go. Like, I will just play one game until I get completely burnt out of it. I have not even got burnt out of Melee. Like,
How could you? There's fucking 26 other characters you can fuck around with when you're bored, Like,
and I only fuck around with one, and I still feel like it's just I can't even learn enough. Like, it's ridiculous. So
I'm gonna even skip ahead a little bit in my. This isn't even skipping ahead, but like, I kind of wondered about this with all the controller modding that you do, specifically for like spacey players. Do you consider yourself to have a Fox secondary yet?
Honestly, I would say my Falco's a little bit better. But
Oh, really?
My Fox tech skill is fucking insane. That's all that I'll say. Like
your fucking ledge dashes are crisp. God
dude,
damn.
Okay, that right there is credited to two things: to always practicing it every single day, and then also because my controller is really good. Well, and controller will make your ledge dashes like a lot better. So I make sure that I make sure I got a good one.
I would hope so. The guy that does this for literally his business at least gives himself something good.
Exactly. So, yeah. As far as having a secondary, I literally only play Yoshi in tournament. I will only play Yoshi in tournament. I'll mess around with Fox here and there, but it's almost like I have like my muscle for tech skill is just insane. I'm ripped, bro. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to neutral, it's just not there. And you have to practice that muscle as well, bro. I literally think about it like that. Like you got to rip through that new layer, you know, to get to that next level. So
well, it's a whole nother element to study. It's a whole nother thing.
Whole other element, bro. So I am 100% just carried from tech skill. That's where it's at. I can move super fast. I can do the edge cancels. I can do all that cool stuff. But it doesn't matter because when I play someone, you gotta play neutral. Yeah. And it's different. I have a neutral perspective from Yoshi's eyes. It feels weird sometimes. I don't get to jump out of shield, so I have to learn how to like jump out of shield again. And it's just like what?
That's why I can't play Yoshi. I don't know how the fuck you just live your life not jumping out of shield.
You learn to deal with it. There are like ways you can kind of mask it, you know. And I definitely think that Yoshi shield is pretty good. It's pretty good. Like you don't suffer shield stun. And I wish you could jump out though.
Yeah, no, I feel like if you could, he would be much higher. I feel like we'd see a lot more Yoshi players.
Like
easy.
Top 3 probably, honestly.
Follow-up question for you that really isn't much of a follow-up. Do you still use a hairdryer for a hand warmer?
No, I do not. No? I do not. Not anymore, bro. Not anymore. I've evolved in meta. I actually just have the hand warmer.
You just have hand warmers now?
I just have hand warmers, yeah.
I was really hoping you would like pull up some tricked out like fucking hairdryer with like mods on it. It just says Nez right on it.
It's just decked out, dude, because I have it. It's so
I could believe it. Your PC in the back that lights up. I fuck with that super hard. I can only imagine a hairdryer that does that.
Yeah, I actually just got this thing too, dude. I'm loving it. It's actually fucking insane.
It's a good looking build. I'll give you that one.
I love it. I love it for sure. But yeah, I actually that was in a different like time period. I had like no hair when that happened. I was like buzz cut, dude. I was about to go into the Marines, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I was about to go into the Marines when like that video was taken.
What got you out of that decision?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get into that. So
for sure. Well,
yeah.
Getting a little bit more into what the peoples know you for is your fantastic controller modding. When did you first learn about modifications as far as controllers go?
So this is actually a super interesting story. The first tournament that I ever went to, it was at JJ's Game Lounge in SoCal. West Balls was there, and also this player named Sung. Mm-hmm. This player named Sung, right? And Sung was a super... Oh, okay, cool. Sung was a super cool Samus player and Falco player as well. And he was one of the first people that opened my eyes that there were even controller mods. Like, it was actually blew my fucking mind, bro. Mm-hmm. It blew my mind. I was at a tournament and I was like sitting right next to him. It was very crowded, and I just like looked down and I saw his controller because I had fight sticks. I was very into fight sticks, and I also customized my own fight stick when I was into Street Fighter. So I kind of had that background going for me. Mm-hmm. That I was like into kind of modifying the buttons, seeing how the different buttons would press, and ball tops and everything like that. So I kind of had that background. So I was very interested in melee players and what they were using. So I looked at his controller, and bro, this guy literally had a bottle cap like this, literally a bottle cap.
Oh my. And
he had it taped to the side of his controller like this. literally taped to the side of
Oh, okay.
it. He had a
Yeah.
Sprite. He had Sprite on the left and a Coca-Cola one on the right. I'm never gonna forget this. And I was like, why do you have bottle caps on your controller? And he's like, oh, dude, like, I basically, like, as soon as he was gonna say something, Westball literally comes up and he just goes, no, you can't see that controller. That's cheating. And I was like, what?
What the fuck?
I was literally so caught off guard. I didn't even, like, really, like, I knew who West was. I was like, why did he do that? I was like, why did he do that? And that was the conversation that I had with him. Like, that was it. I was like, all right, like, shit. My first tournament. Yeah, I was like, all right. And then, it just still, like, I went home and I was like, dude, that's so weird. Like, I don't understand why he had bottle caps to his controller.
Mm-hmm.
So I went home and I started to look up, like, modifications for GameCube controllers. And I stumbled upon a Smashboards thread that YungD0nut had wrote. And a lot of people have stumbled upon this Smashboard post. So I stumbled upon it. This guy just had, like, it was ridiculous the amount of information this fool had, dude. It was like pages of information, documentation on CRTs, lag, input display, all of that crazy stuff that wasn't even pertaining to controllers. Yep. And then he also had this whole thing on controllers, like button resistance perforations, like all these crazy things to make your triggers lighter, like all this. And I was like, dude, that's amazing. Like,
yep.
we need this stuff. Like, we legitimately need it. And then I found out about notching. And I was like, holy shit. If Yoshi can shield drop every single time, I think this character can be super viable. And that's kind of where everything kind of came together, because me playing Yoshi, every controller being different for shield dropping, Yoshi being able to shield drop every single time would grant him such a competitive advantage. It would grant him such a competitive advantage. And these were in the days of no UCF. This was like 2015, right?
Right.
So, and when I had started playing Melee, I went to a tournament 2 weeks after I had started playing. So, like, I played for 2 weeks, went to my first tournament, and found out about all this controller stuff. So it was a very, very, very fast, like, I found out about the controller stuff, and I literally see the potential in it. And the sad reality was, nobody was taking it serious. I legitimately felt like nobody was taking it serious. Like, this was something that was holding our game back, like, so hard. Like, it was literally holding it back so hard. I was like, if we want to progress our game, if we want to do something, these inputs have to be set the same way they are in Street Fighter. Legit. Like, they need to be set the same way they are in Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Shield dropping should be set. It was bullshit. It's literally so dumb that the game was like that. But, I mean, how could we know? It came out in 2001, right?
Right.
So, that was when I stumbled upon YungD0nut's videos that he posted onto YouTube. And his accent was just so thick. It was just so thick. And he was explaining it like... His explanations for everything that he was giving was very over-explained. It was like, I didn't see anyone taking an interest into it, except for someone like me. I knew that I was going to take an interest into it because I legitimately saw that this was something that players were going to need, but the level of interest he was able to keep was very low. It was very low. He talked in a very mono voice, and I thought to myself, well, here's the thing. I live in SoCal. There isn't anyone in SoCal that's even doing this, and I'm supposed to be in the best region in all of Melee. SoCal's supposed to be the mecca of where Melee happens. We all know this. Like, that's just the way it is. It's where all the heavy hitters are. And if there wasn't anyone that did controllers in SoCal,
what the fuck? Yeah.
What the fuck? The guy that actually does this is in Austria. This is not accessible. No. This is not gonna happen. And then I started to figure out, like, okay, well, how would you figure out how to notch? Like, that is something that we need to do, like, 100%. And I found out that Squid, amazing Falco player, I look up to him in so many ways, not only through his play, but because he's an awesome person and he's extremely intellectual. He's a very, very intelligent guy. I love the way he, says things, and at the time it was very weird because Squid was actually the person that I found out about notching, like, from kind of. Like, he was the only person in SoCal that was actually doing it.
Mm.
And I asked Squid. People were saying, you know, Squid does something with the file to get it, right? To get the shield drops working. And I asked Squid, yo, dude, people have been telling me that you can do this notch. I don't even know what a notch is, but what do you do? He goes, well, I file against the gate and I shave away part of the gate to achieve a certain value in game, and then you get the shield drops. But I'm not willing to do it. And I said, what? I was like, dude, I will give you $40 to do this. Mm-hmm. He goes, I'm not willing to do it because as a competitor, I want to keep this to myself.
Oof.
And I thought about this, and I was like, okay, this is actually a crossroad here because I want to be a good player. I want to be a good player. Everyone wants to be a good player. And I was actually like, holy shit, Squid is actually like very smart right now by saying this because he wants to keep his competitive integrity. And if he has it, that's just the advantage. Like, that's legitimately an advantage that he has over everyone. If he can do it for himself and doesn't give it to everyone.
He's got the Krabby Patty secret formula, man.
He's got the secret formula.
He's got it.
Literally. He has it. So I was like, okay, that's actually super respectable. Like, he's a competitor. Like, he's out here. He's top 100. He was grinding hella hard, taking wins off all these ranked players. Like, I'm like, it makes sense. Like, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I looked to myself and I was like, all right, you're out here grinding this Yoshi. You're trying to be good. But I know it's going to take a long time. I also found out about Typo, and he was doing like some boosts here and there, and I was like, okay. What Typo's doing right now is super cool. And I actually think it's what we need. We need someone to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like Typo could have been doing a lot better for what he was doing. There were some Reddit posts that came out about him. There were people that had just had really bad things to say about him. I looked at his notches when he was doing them, and they were really, really bad. Mm-hmm. He's gotten a lot better now, but the thing is that they were very bad, and they weren't working, and people were complaining, and people were unhappy. And I'm like, this is the opposite of what I want. This is a disaster.
This was pre-Mute City Custom stuff too, right?
This is pre-Mute City Custom. This is when he was doing it with like a nail file.
Yeah.
He had a nail clipper and he had a file on the end, and he was doing it with that.
Okay.
And so I thought the concept was right, but we needed someone that was obsessed with quality more so than quantity. And I think Typo was more obsessed with quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely saw that flaw. I'm not gonna lie, I saw that flaw right off the bat. And I thought to myself, there is so much potential here. There is so much potential here, not only in the game, but for me as well. Because if I can continue to notch, I can meet top players and get practice with them to get my character, to get me better at the game.
This ladder process, you figure it out, yeah.
Exactly. I thought if I could give this service to top players, they would want to come to me to play. And without that, I would not have been able to have Mike over here, SFET over here, Armada over here, Watch, Rudolph, have all these cool people that have like come over here. Lucky, like all of them coming over here and playing with me, getting controller stuff. It has helped me so much. Not only as a player, as a brand for myself, they super helped me.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one thing that I wanted to seek after, was that top player practice. I was obsessed with just putting in hours. That's all I'm obsessed with, putting in hours. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to put in hours the right way. And, looking back and seeing the way that I was thinking right there, it was very, very smart at the time, because I saw it was a vision that I had that this has potential, and I want to do this the right way, because I saw where Typo went wrong. I saw where Cardano went wrong, and I was like, I can do my best to try to give the best quality stuff to the entire community and ensure if they go to one person, it will be done right, and there will not be a complaint about it. there will not be a complaint about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask anyone, the only complaint they will have about me is not about my controllers, but my wait times. Because I would rather have you wait months instead of rushing a product and giving you something that's going to be faulty and cause you inconsistencies in game. That is the mistake that Cardano and Typo had made, and I wanted to fix that and step in and make consistent controllers all of the time and not have a customer that was like, yo, this is terrible. And that is when I basically thought to myself, I am more obsessed with learning the craft right now than I am even worrying about money. I did not even care about money.
Right.
And at this time, I was working at a restaurant. And it was good money. I was a busser and a server, and it was amazing learning. I worked it was a fine dining restaurant, so it was very nice. I had to dress up like in a suit and tie and everything. Not a suit and tie, just a collar shirt and everything, you know. Yeah. Collar shirt. Yeah.
Business casual.
But, business casual.
Sure,
yeah, exactly. So that taught me a lot about customer service and everything like that, how to interact with customers. I worked there for 4 years, actually, in high school. All throughout high school, I worked there, and even sometime after high school. And working there and also juggling the controllers were my main thing. I was also going to school at the time as well. So I was working at my job, and then I was obsessed with learning the craft of the controllers, and I was also going to school at the same time, and I was trying to become a good player, so I was having to try to juggle all these things, right? So when I was getting good at them, I would basically just do it to my controller, and I would have other people try it, and other people would be like, this isn't that good, or, you know, yo, this is really good, like, I like this. So I'm like, okay, so I'll do more of this, not you know, more of that, do this more, not that. And I would just have a couple friends, you know, test it with me. And I bless my friend Chef Q, who has been my right-hand man throughout all of this. And he tested all my controls when I had the shittiest notches. When I was just practicing on all the physical mods, he was testing out everything, making sure that everything felt good. And he was, you know, giving me 100% honest feedback all the time. So I was super happy that he was able to test it and, you know, help me through that whole trial and error process, because it was like an entire year where it was trial and error. Right. I was not making any money. As a matter of fact, I was losing money. And I will say it right now that I lost thousands of dollars in that year. Yikes. Investing in order to even get anything out of that. But I was willing to do that. That was the difference, because I would mess up on so many things. I have a graveyard, an entire drawer of messed up faceplates that I have done, from messing up the notches, I literally have my first shell that I even notched right here hanging. Yeah. And it's crazy to look at now. It's crazy to look at now, you know? So the thing was that I was willing to invest that money into the controllers, and I was willing to mess up. And I wasn't even really thinking about, you know, making any money. So I had other people. I actually brought my controller to a tournament one time, and I had my friend shield drop on it, and he was amazed. He was blown away by how consistent it was, and he said, Noah, next week I'm going to bring a controller to you. I want you to come to the tournament. Will you notch it for $40? I was like, oh shit, dude. I was like, yes, I will. 100%. 100%. So I went to the tournament, brought all my stuff, and I took like an hour 30 on this controller. I was like, yo, this is the first time anyone's ever paid me for anything. I'm going to try so hard on it and make sure it's like perfect. So I was chiseling away so little. I wanted it to be perfect. And I looked at it today, and it literally looks like the notches I do today because I took so long on it. It was crazy. I don't even know how I did it. But I did it. It was perfect. He loved it. And I felt so good about it because he was smiling. He could not even contain his smile. He was like, dude, this is like perfect. Like, this is like the biggest level up that I've ever had. And then he started beating players. He beat Cyrox, this guy. His name is Andy Mossity. He when he played Cyrox, he was playing out of his mind. Like literally 2 weeks later, and he was shield dropping everywhere, and it was crazy. And he played Samus.
Yeah, I've seen Andy. Andy's pretty sick.
Yeah, and Andy's sick. And Andy's like, dude, like, I need you to realize right now, like, what you're doing is super good for our game, and there's not a lot of people doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I have more controllers like for you to do like later. And I was like, oh, all right, dude, like awesome, right? So even then, I was still worrying about like getting good at notching, getting good at the whole controller thing, and I would go to tournaments and literally do people's controllers for free. I would do them for free. The first like 8 months, I want to say, I did everything for free. Everything. All notches, all triggers, all snapback, everything for free.
Right.
Because I just wanted people's feedback on what I was doing wrong, and I just wanted to get good at it, so that I could get to a point where I knew everything that that could go wrong, and I would do everything that would be right. And you know, Andy had paid me like around like the 4-month mark.
Sure.
And that was my motivation to kind of keep it going. It was like you can definitely make something out of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until the summer of 2017 when I really had like I really had to be rational with myself. I had to like separate myself from my current situation and just look at everything that was going on. And it took a lot. I was 19 at the time, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know. I have a super interesting like family life, like, and everything like that. Won't get too into it.
Sure.
But basically, being in college and everything was getting very hard to afford.
Yep.
You know, the whole infrastructure that college is basically founded on is
bullshit.
You know, it's bullshit. Legit, bro. Like you need it to be it needs to be inherited money. Yep. Like the generation before you is literally what's supposed to pay for your college. You're not supposed to pay for that ever. But I'm in a situation now where I actually do. So if I want to go to college, I have to actually make money.
Yeah.
I have to make money and hustle my fucking ass off, bro, if I even want to make it. And I still do, right? And here's the thing. I looked at my priorities right there in that point in time in my life. And my priorities were my business, Melee. Yep. Melee, my business, I felt were one. They were one. I was focused on Melee controllers, right? Melee and controllers. Those were my number one priorities right there. And then it was my job, and then it was school. And I said, why am I even in school? I'm wasting money because I'm not even having that in my top, like, it's not even the top of my priority list right now.
It's losing to a damn video game.
Honestly, right?
Yeah. And
I started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, I wasn't even doing bad either. I literally went for 3 semesters. 3 semesters. I killed it first semester because I was like, I know what I want to do. I know that I have to do all these things, and I'm going to kill it. I killed the first semester. Second semester, I was like, I don't know, dude, this whole controller thing. And then I started to, like, you know, put it down the priority list. And then third semester, I just took 1 class because I was like, you know, honestly, I don't know if I'm like going to be all there, if I'm going to be wanting to put in that effort, and then just have those classes go to waste, have that money go to waste, you know?
If you don't mind me asking, what was your major that you were going for?
It was actually psychology. It was psychology.
Okay.
Yeah, it was psychology because I'm super interested in interactions. And it was social psychology, actually.
Okay.
So I'm very interested in social interactions, and I'm also very interested in the way that your brain works, and you know, all these other signals that people give. Like, it's super, bro. It's super interesting to me. So it's something that, you know, I definitely knew that I wanted to do at the time, and you know, I still might want to do it, but it's definitely not. I don't know about going to school for like another couple years after that. You know, it's like it's a lot, bro. And,
it is. It totally is.
If I really wanted to make it, I would have to be a clinical psychologist, and, you know, I'd have to, you know, talk to, you know, patients or anything like that. And, you know, they deal with some really hard stuff, and I would take that home with me. And I don't know if I could deal with that, you know, and that's just like me being realistic with myself and trying to, you know, really see if I wanted to do this. So I took one class, you know, on that third semester, and halfway through of it, I dropped out. I dropped out, 100%, and I did it consciously. I 100% did it consciously. I quit my job within 1 week of each other. I dropped out of college and I quit my job within 1 week of each other. And my vision was to create an empire off of the controller modifications, the stream that I was doing at the time, and the brand that I wanted to make. And that was what I was obsessed with. And then I started watching videos of Gary Vaynerchuk, who is a super big inspiration to me. To this day, I watch him on the weekly. Used to watch him on the daily, now I watch him on the weekly. And that guy has taught me like so much, bro. He's taught me like literally so much. And it's the entrepreneurship mindset, bro. And I've had it my entire life and I didn't even realize it, you know? When I was in high school, my side hustle was flipping Jordans. I would literally flip Jordans in high school. I would get them on release date. I actually had a sneaker bot. It was a robot that would buy sneakers on release date. You had all your credit card information, your size and everything put into this bot, and it would do frame perfect 1 millisecond refresh rate on the website. As soon as the shoe went up, bam, you were checked out, and you had the shoes every single time. It was amazing. And I lived on that, and I would flip shoes for like $80, like $100, and I would just keep stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking. And then that was what I lived off of on, you know, including my job hustle in high school. That's what I did. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. The whole concept of flipping was super interesting to me. And then, you know, like I said, I worked at the restaurant and I loved customer service. I honestly went above and beyond, and I would go home after my shifts and read up on how to interact with customers at restaurants. Like I would read up on how to properly, you know, hold your composure, how to be poised, things like that, that I was really, really obsessed with. And so I basically tied all of it together because I was very hands-on as well. And I always liked messing with, like, you know, fight sticks and stuff like that. Loved fighting games. And so the customer service, the flipping shoes from, you know, customer service from a restaurant, flipping shoes, and then the whole, like, me loving fighting games, just tied that all together, bro. Tied that all together here. Me wanting to be an entrepreneur and everything like that came from me realizing that I had an insane work ethic. I wanted to build a brand, and I loved flipping shit. And I loved customer service. And I was always, what I would do was I would try and see what people wanted the most. I would, like, legitimately see, like, what's hot right now. Like, you know, like, what do people want? And I felt like I always had reads on what people, like, what would be hot, like, right now. Like, I was on to joggers before everyone was on to joggers. like that's literally where it is.
You're on the wave.
I was on to Diamond Supply before everyone was on to Diamond Supply. Like that's where it was at. Like I would just read those waves. As soon as everyone started rocking Diamond Supply, I would literally stop that. So like my entire life, bro, I've been a sneakerhead. I've been like super like fashion and everything like that because I've known where it's gonna go, you know? So doing this whole thing has taught me a lot about how to be an entrepreneur, and that entrepreneurship spirit, the entrepreneurial spirit, is what has carried me super, super hard to this day. So yeah, like that's a lot of it, bro. That's a lot of it, and
it's a lot to take. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
I mean, I could have told you off rip. Like, I can hear the businessman in you. I could hear the salesperson within you. The way that you want to move about all that, I could 100% read it off you within like a few seconds. The other question though that comes up with someone that turns their hobby though into their profession becomes, do you still enjoy it? And I feel like obviously when you're still at a young age, you have a reason to say you do enjoy it, and I think you have a good position to say that you enjoy it. But I'll rephrase this and say, think 2, 3, even 4 years down the line, do you see this being something that is still not only profitable but something that you will still enjoy? You know what I mean?
So the thing is that I definitely see there being profit in the business of doing it, because I see like companies like Battle Beaver, they're striving but they're also not striving in the places that they could be striving in to really make themselves super successful. I think that I have a different outlook on things that I want to accomplish in the business world and things that I want to accomplish in my company. But I definitely think that in those next 3 to 4 years, I'm going to be wanting to transition out of this into my next wave of things that and the next wave of things that I'm gonna be wanting to get into. So with that being said, me having this as a hobby has really taken a toll on me liking it, but at the same time, like I still do like it. It gets super hard to juggle being the controller modder and then just myself,
Right.
because people, if I go to a tournament, it's always like, yo, do you have a booth? Yo, can I get my controller modded? Yo, Nez, I need my controller touched up. And it's just like, dude, I want to play. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
I just want to play. Like, and I'm actually going to Pound 2019, and I'm going to be competing. I'm so happy. It's the first tournament that I've ever flown myself out to just to compete. So I'm extremely stoked on it. You know, that I'm basically sponsoring myself off of the work that I do. I'm sponsoring myself to play, and I'm super fucking excited. I'm super excited.
I can see it on your face. Damn.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I go to a tournament, and that's all I do. I just work. And if I ever want to play, I play for like 10 minutes, and then someone asks me like to, you know, see if I'm open or something like that,
right.
Or see if I notch their controller. So it gets like a little on the irritating side, but I've learned to deal with it very well because I actually took up that responsibility. I signed up for it, man, you know, 100%. And I knew that if I wanted to be this person, I was going to have to put up with that. It's like a fortitude. Like, right. I actually feel like I have pretty good fortitude. And dealing with like the amount of things that I've dealt with, customer interactions, you know, these interesting situations that have happened, it really makes me think about how I want to be approached, like how I want to approach things. That's what I meant to say. How right. I want to approach things. So I really care about the way I want to approach things, and I've taken up like taken up a certain role in the community, and I have to be mature about it, you know. So that's basically where it is. It's fun. I love it. The stream is what helps a lot, dude. The stream helps so much because I get to interact with everyone. It's a very healthy relationship. It's social. Everyone gets to come in and see what I'm doing. It builds more credibility. People are like, damn, this guy's really working out here. Like, we don't know. You guys wouldn't know how much I'm working if I were just wasn't streaming, right? Like, right. You look at my VODs, my last stream was like 18 hours. Like, come on. Like, that's like ridiculous. Like, it was 18 hours. Before that it was 14, then it was 12, then it was 10. Like, it's usually always how it is.
Right.
And it's almost like a portfolio.
It's 100% like a portfolio. 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was really like the first person to do that, to really like show that this is like part of my portfolio for my business. And you know, I always want to keep like a good vibe in my stream. I always like just Melee in general. I like playing with people, and I always like to talk with everyone. And that in general is a very, very good atmosphere for me. And I feel like notching can get a little tiring sometimes, like not just taxing mentally, because it's just the same thing. You're notching plastic, you're having to go through these values again and again and again.
Yep.
I'm doing the same thing. Like that's how it feels. Like I'm doing the same thing, but sometimes like I'll talk to my chat and I'll continue to try really hard, and it's just like 2 hours feels like it's only been like 30 minutes sometimes, you know? And that's how long it takes me to do like a full angle Firefox notch or something like that. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like, damn, like it really helps. And it's also like I'm doing two jobs at once, kind of. Yeah. Because I'm working. You're
an entertainer while being the businessman. It's exactly. It's not easy.
Yeah. So it's super cool, that atmosphere. But yeah, man. If I'm being 100% honest with you, bro, it's definitely gotten. It's still like a hobby to me. Like I still love it, but it's a job now, dog. You know, it's 100% a job. I treat it like that. I wake up and I'm like, I gotta work. And me working is working on the controllers, turning on my stream, grinding, and getting another one done. You know?
It's a
And,
professional mindset to have, though. You know, you treat it like your
honestly,
job, and you show the professional products. You have this name now known for yourself. I can't even think of what top player doesn't say like, "Yo, where'd you get your controller from?" That guy Nez, you know, like
exactly.
everyone has that name for you now. The portfolio you're talking about, I think Twitch has actually given you one of the best things for a business ever. Not only
I
do you get to not only do you get to show what you're doing to the people that could 100% come to you and be like, dude, what the fuck do you do on your Sundays? Like, what are you doing? Can you get my work done? Like, or something like that. The
exactly.
impatient dickheads.
It honestly gives a little bit of actually not a little bit, a lot of respect for
Yeah.
what I do. People are just like, he's out here, man. Like we can't say anything. Like he's like
No.
he's grinding, bro. Like you know.
He took an
So
hour off to play net play. Fuck this guy. Like, no, you can't. You can't even do that.
exactly, dude. Because I'm literally out here all day, every day. So yeah. So that's basically like streaming on Twitch has been amazing for me, dog. It's done a lot for me, and you know, I basically could like pay my rent on it if I really wanted to. So my subscribers on Twitch, everyone that's a loyal fan of like my stream, that the community that I've built and everything means so much to me, and the community, the Melee community, and everyone that supports me is just. It's one of the most amazing things that's ever happened to me, bro. 100%, 100%. Twitch is for sure my neck of the woods. I love it. I love streaming. I know there's a lot of people that don't love streaming, and you know I love streaming so much that it's just super apparent in every one of my streams. And wouldn't be doing it as much as I do if I didn't love it. You know,
100%.
So I think me liking to stream also keeps me a little bit more interested in wanting to notch too. So because that's also part of it, and a lot of people come and ask questions as well. So.
I think that's really cool too, that you turn it somewhat into a Q&A when you're doing these notches, because like someone like myself, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I know there's values that you're trying to match up and shit like that. I would have no idea what you're doing unless I asked. But it's still, even as a viewer, it's actually something really cool to watch. Like I didn't go to school for like engineering or for any form of artistic design or whatever it is you're doing, which at the end of the day it is. So to watch someone doing this for something that I care about, Melee, you know, I'm just like, holy shit, this is super interesting. So you got a big demographic that you're matching with this, so I gotta give it props. It's sick.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Roger _ asks, what was the biggest hardship once you started?
Losing money.
Yep.
100%. I'm gonna be honest when I say this, that I struggled for what felt like a long time.
Yeah.
About a year. I lost thousands of dollars, and like I said, all I cared about was investing my time into getting good at the craft before even worrying about a dollar, because I just cared about quality. I just cared about getting people the best stuff. It was rough there for a moment, man, and like. If you look at my old clips of my stream and everything, it's like a lot different now, dude. You know, it's a lot different now. Like the fact that I even have this PC back here is insane, because I used to stream all this on a really crappy laptop, and
we all start there though. Like I get you.
Exactly. Like now I have this like nice camera and everything, and like this camera was funded from like my stream, and like I bought this monitor, it was from my stream, and this monitor too is from my stream.
Yep.
And this keyboard is from my stream. And then all these USB hubs is all for my stream.
Yeah,
dude, and it's like seeing where I once was. It's scary. It's scary to think that I was there at one point, and I didn't know if it was even going to be successful or not. It's been a long road. It's been a long road for sure, and that's basically what I want to get across. That you know, I lost a lot. I also sacrificed a lot of friendships. And relationships, because I was more focused on doing this, and rightfully so. I think it was better that I kind of stopped with those friendships from high school and everything like that, because you know, we oftentimes will grow out of friends. They oftentimes just want to go do their own thing, and most of my friends just wanted to like go out, just smoke weed and like party and do all that. I was not about that. I was more so about wanting to shape my business and wanting to learn about this, and I definitely cut that out of my life. And I learned a lot about, you know, what it was to be a businessman, being a CEO, so to say. I had to really
100% to say, yeah.
yeah, I had to prioritize my time, and it was not going to be, you know, getting fucked up with my friends or doing whatever. It was going to be grinding out my business, because it made more sense to me when I was 18 years old to do that than to go out, be hanging out with friends and spending my time doing nothing. In my eyes, that was nothing. They might see this as nothing, but I saw so much more than they could have ever seen. And when I started doing this, and I wouldn't hang out with them, they would knock me. Bro, you're so whack. You're just playing that fucking game, dude. Like, you're so weird, bro. Like, why aren't you hanging out with us? Why aren't you hanging out with us?
Yep.
Come out with us, bro. You know? And I was like, no, dude. You guys aren't here to fucking support me. You guys literally aren't supporting me. I don't appreciate you guys coming at me from this angle. If you guys were actual friends, you'd be like, fuck yeah, Noah. Keep doing your thing, bro. We're going to be here for you. And I still have friends that were there. I have 3 from high school that were super, super, super legit. They were legit. And they were like, yo, dog, like, keep doing you. You know?
Fuck yeah.
Those same friends that were knocking me, those same exact friends that were like, yo, fuck you, dude, for not hanging out with us. You're wasting your life on that game, and you're not going to do anything. They now are congratulating me for what I've accomplished in the scene, what I've accomplished for myself.
That's a fact.
They are now so inspired by what I've done that they actually took up the booth life and started their own clothing brand.
Oh,
because
shit.
They thought, oh, like, if Noah's doing this and he's selling controllers at a booth to people, we can make clothes, sell them at a booth to people. And they told me that, and I'm like, wow, fuck you guys, honestly. Like, are you serious right now?
That ass.
So honestly, the relationships, although those went, I think it was rightfully so. A lot faster. I matured a lot because I had to learn about these things that would happen in the business world, right? I had to learn about these things that were gonna happen, and I definitely keep my circle small. I have a couple close friends that I still keep contact with, and I make sure to double down on those relationships because I don't want to have a bunch of open friendships. I want to have a bunch of meaningful friendships that are very, very, like, close circled, you know? So I will double down in those 5-6 relationships that I really care about, but then all those other ones I'll touch up on, but it won't be something that I, like, totally go out of my way, you know? It's like I'll keep it nice with everyone, though, you know? It's not like I'm gonna be hostile. I'm not a hostile person at all. Right. I actually love people a lot. It's just that I've seen a lot, I've matured a lot, and I understand a lot of things in life. So for right now, I just definitely I need to, you know, everyone needs to learn a lot more, but I've learned a lot, that's for sure.
I couldn't agree more. The way you talk about yourself and with your business, it's very clear that you've experienced what you've needed to, and not to say that there's nothing more to come, but there's always more to learn and more to adapt with and understand who you're trying to be. And it's cool to see that you have this grasp on it, especially at the younger age, you know? Like, I'm not trying to be that guy to, like, talk down to the younger, because I'm really not. I'm 3 years older at most. But yeah, you understand it, and it is really cool to see, and I'm forever glad to see the progression the boy is making, you know?
Yeah, dude.
Good shit.
And, like I said, the progression is something that I honestly don't really want to look at, because I don't ever want to get complacent. I never want to get comfortable. It's always me trying to one-up it. Just keep on one-upping. Keep on wanting to, like,
there's no ceiling. There's no ceiling.
There's no ceiling, bro. There's literally no ceiling. So I'm also thinking on the next avenues that I want to get into. I'm also really interested in retail right now. And I'm kind of getting into, like, clothing and everything like that, because I've been into it my entire life, like I said.
That fucking jacket that you put out for, like, that short amount of time.
Oh yeah.
Holy.
I'm actually bringing it right here, dude.
Oh my god. Fucking flex it. Flex it. This thing is sick. This thing is so nasty.
Orange interior as well.
Oh my god.
So nice.
The dog. Look at this. Look at this. The fuck? Bro.
This jacket's honestly so sick. So yeah.
When can I buy this thing already? Like, what the fuck?
In like 3 months.
Alright, bet.
Yeah. 3 months.
We'll hold you to it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I've been super getting into like this type of stuff too. And then also I made, like, a line of controller cases that I have. I actually have one. Let me see.
For sure.
It's here. Yeah. Also had these line of controller cases that were manufactured. Ooh. And these were actually the best-selling controller case. Out of all of Battle Beaver Customs and Controller Chaos, these were the highest prized controller cases. These are the best on the market, and everyone in the community agrees with it by like a long shot. And definitely had to get like 4 samples made because I had to change the design a couple times. And this is what we have now. It's like really nice felt inside, and I need to get more of these made actually because they all sold out in a super short amount of time. So I definitely need to be getting more of these made. But it's things like that that I've also been getting into. Manufacturing, it's like bulk ordering and you know, having those to sell at tournaments. It's like really, really good. It's really, really good. And it's helped me a lot. It's helped me a lot for sure. So I have a whole bunch of things that were inspired from Gary Vee. This is one of the things that was inspired from Gary Vee, 100%. So yeah.
I mean, I was even gonna say, like, between you and I and the people that'll watch this, I still don't understand why the fuck anyone goes to Battle Beaver or Controller KS. I can't tell you the last time I've talked to anyone that's gotten a product from them that they're not like, well, the shell looks cool, but that's fucking it. The controller sucks dick. Like, that's all I don't understand
that's mainly the
it hurts. Yeah.
Like, you're 100% right on that, dude. And I care about the brand. I care about the brand so much. So I've actually talked to Battle Beaver Customs about this, and I've been like, you know, you guys need to do something about the quality. I hear 80% people that are like, yo, this is like they fucked me up. Like, you know. And after that call, they actually discontinued one of their services, and they still put out controllers. I don't hear as much about them because I don't think many people are getting controllers from them as much anymore. But they're really known for their like button and things like that. They have really, really good buttons that I buy like in very, very big bulk orders. But the thing is that Battle Beaver Customs and Controller Chaos have very, very good as like marketing, but they don't need it at the product's end. No. You know, and it all needs to come full circle. And the reason why Battle Beaver Customs says that they can't get it up to quality is because they have 12 people going over these controllers, you know? And I guess these 12 people, somewhere along the line, the quality gets, you know, messed up. You don't have one person overlooking it, and I'm that one person that knows everything. But
you're also doing this, like how that's such a bullshit excuse to me. Like, oh my god,
that's low key what I'm saying. You know, it's like come on now. It's like come on. Yeah, but I mean, I have to give them credit because they still are putting out controllers and stuff like that. But like, we all know what's up, bro. The people in the community that are actually in the community know what's up.
I'm trying to remember who it was. I think Toph's girlfriend. She was doing like custom controllers for a while, if I'm not mistaken, where she would do the art and then Toph would test them. I think is what it was. I don't know if they still continued. I think I tried getting in contact because I wanted one. I think
I know exactly what you're talking about. Sid?
I think that's it, maybe.
Yeah, I think she did controllers for like a bit. She like painted them.
Yeah. She had like fucking My Hero ones, and I really wanted it because fucking a Deku controller would be sick. But like,
yeah, straight up. Yeah. She did like all crazy stuff like that. But I don't think she does it anymore.
No, but like that's the business though that could work perfectly if you're artistically talented as well as you have this other. That's why I don't know why anyone doesn't go to you, man.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's exactly what I'm saying. But. Yeah, like, kind of going back on another note, as far as, like, my job goes now, if we actually look at the job that I had before, working at the restaurant, I actually make more money than I do now than I do at my old restaurant job. And that is credited to not only the hours that I put in, but also the level of expertise that it is at. Because you're also not paying the amount of money for some average Joe to do it. You're paying the money for Nez, for me to do it, you know, and that's the difference, right? That's the difference. So people are paying for the highest quality possible, and that's what I've built my entire, literally, career at this point. That's what I've built my entire career off of, was giving people the perfect controller, and if they were to go to me, they would have it. They would have that good ass notched out controller that feels buttery, buttons press all smooth. They would have it. You know, and there would be no shits or gigs. It would just be awesome. And was not always that way though. You know, like I said, like I lost a lot of money and I also had to work my way up to that. So building the reputation was something that was really important to me. So I knew I was gonna have to build the reputation in order to get to that point, and then work the way that I'm working right now. The work ethic that I've had has actually not changed. It's actually gone up. Like, I would say last year I gave like 100%. Like, I literally am not scared of not giving enough for my business, because I know I'm giving all of it. I'm giving all I possibly can
for
to
sure.
it. So I don't feel bad that I'm not putting in more time. I'm putting in so much fucking time.
Yep.
So I'm trying to put in 110% now, because I'm just trying to double down on what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, and I also am very motivated to try to see where my business goes, because I don't even know what I'm motivated for. It just feels like I can keep going, bro. I can keep going. And if I can keep pushing, if I can keep excelling in this area, then so be it, you know? So
100%.
be it. And I'm learning more about, you know, the time that I spent off doing this from college. It has really taught me more about what I want to do. Like, I actually am glad that I stopped doing college and did this, because this has really, really shown me. This has really shown me what I want to do. And if I were to flash back and not dropped out of college, I would have aimlessly wasted money, done it for psychology, and figured out, hey, I don't really want to do this a year later, wasted that entire year and money doing nothing, when I actually could have just saved that, made my business, profited off of it, and then gone back for something that I actually wanted to do, and have that all the time, money invested into what I actually wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like a lot of kids are aimlessly going to college.
Oh, they are. They are. That's a fact.
100%. Yeah. And it's because their mom or their dad or both of them, their parents just want to go, and they want to please their parents, and they don't know what the hell they're gonna do, dude. I think it's inhumane for someone that's 18, 17, 18, 19 years old to know what they're gonna do for the rest of their life. Like, even if you're like 25, I think it's like crazy. Some people just know, though. So that's like respect to them.
It's a weird percentage of people that definitely already know what they want, and then you go to college and you see all this different shit that's available to you. How the fuck are you gonna just be like, you know what? I went here to be a doctor. Now I kind of want to be a chef. Like, the fuck?
Something like that. Yeah. Exactly. So, if I ever do go back to school, it would probably be for business.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've realized. I feel like I'm a businessman at heart, and if there's one thing I would want to professionally, be, acclaimed in, it would be business. Yep. So that's what I would want to do. And if I ever go back, that's noted for sure.
We'll see him as businessman Nez, like it. And I mean, you can still be a businessman and like be a business major while learning about psychology too. Let's say, like, if you still wanted to. I went to school for audio radio comm, and I do. I studied like video production and like photography half the time, because you can just branch out and learn a lot. That's one thing I'll forever give college a little bit of respect for. I'll never respect the amount that we as human beings have to pay to be taught how to help this generation, not even this generation, help our world continue to succeed. We have to not only pay for that, but then we have to hope that what we're doing can secure us a job or something.
That's scary.
I could fucking rant about college for days, but
I literally looked at some guy that had like a master's degree in like bio, something
bioengineering, maybe.
It wasn't bioengineering. It was like some crazy. I don't even remember.
Oh, okay.
But he had a master's in it, and he was homeless. He was living in his car, and and he was homeless in LA because he's applied to over 1,200 jobs. No job was wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't do anything because his degree doesn't mean shit.
Yep.
And what sucks is that I like to tell this story because not only does it have S2J in it, but it's also pretty fucking funny because it's true, and it's Johnny. It's just Johnny.
Fuck yeah, tell it.
But I asked Johnny one time. Not a lot of people know this about him as well, but he actually went to UCLA and graduated with a fucking master's, bro, in sociology and something else. It's actually insane, bro, that Johnny graduated from UCLA. And I asked him, I'm like, dude, when did you go to UCLA? When during the timeline was that?
Right.
And then he was like,
the fucking the holding the chin thinking.
Exactly. Yeah. He's like 10 years ago. And I was like, shit, dude. I was like, well, like how has you graduating from UCLA played out in your everyday life? Like, how has that come in handy for you?
Mm-hmm.
And then he literally, iconically, just goes, honestly, not shit.
Why is this actually such a good impression of Johnny?
He's like, honestly, not shit. And I was like, damn,
yeah.
dude. And he's like, I just wasted. He's like, I literally did the bare minimum,
Mm-hmm.
and I got by.
C's get degrees, bro.
Yep. And I was like, damn, dude. And then I also asked, like, actually, one of my friend's dad. One of my friend's dad is a millionaire. He's a millionaire. He's amazing. He has this insane company where he like travels around the world and like helps like impoverished like families,
right?
Like things like that. It's actually like amazing what he does, and he's like a millionaire from like a bunch of other stuff too. But I actually like sat down and had lunch with him, and I had asked him what the best thing that college had done for him was. And he literally told me that the best thing that college had done for him was give him connections.
Yeah.
He said that it was giving him connections. He said that he doesn't even know how well, like, he doesn't even think that his college degree, like, gave him the assets that he has in life. He thinks what gave him everything that he has right now is being the person that he is. And
mm-hmm.
having the charisma and the intelligence that he had. Obviously, college is going to help with that, like, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But he got himself places, and he knows that. Because the field of work that he's in, the field of work that he's in isn't even what he made.
You don't get taught that.
College for that.
Yep.
He didn't even go to college for that. It helped because, you know, he has this degree, and he can, like, flaunt it, right? But he became a millionaire doing something completely different. What his degree didn't even do that for him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's basically it. And Viceroy, no, he actually paid for me.
I didn't even know you were looking at the chat for me. Good stuff.
So fun.
I love that. I think that's a great story. I think it does cover a lot of, you know, people that are thinking about college. This wasn't ever intended to be a college talk, but I mean, fuck it. Yeah, I'm always down to talk about that type of shit. It blows my mind that I spent all that time there to do something that I've known how to do my entire life, just didn't do it. But fuck it. Sometimes it takes that little light to turn on, you know, for some people to notice what they want to do. 100%. So
yeah. And I see good things with school too, but you know, right now, not for me. Right now, not for me. I got my business that I'm writing out and everything like that. I love it. I love my business. I love it. And I also was going to like go into the Marines as well.
Right.
And so that was also like kind of like a I was gonna go to the Marines instead of like college as well, just so I could have the Marines help pay for my college when I was out, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely a rough road, but I definitely think that running out my business right now is the right decision for me.
For sure. And I mean, you've developed it into something obviously people know you as. You are literally at n3zmodgod, like you are the seventh god, but for a completely different reason. But with that being the case, this does make you wonder, do you, and I say this in a weird fashion, but do you see yourself ever wanting to also be the best? You're a businessman right now. You're working on this company. You have a job working for this game. That do you ever think to yourself, do I want to be the best, or can I be the best?
Now, I've always I've definitely thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this all kind of goes back to what I was telling you about Squid, right?
Yeah.
About how Squid wanted to keep that to himself. I wanted to give it to everyone so that when I beat them, I want there to be no Johns.
Yep.
I legitimately believe in myself so much. I believe in myself so much. I know it's going to take a long time. I know it's going to take a long time for me to get good because I'm playing Yoshi, but I know he can do it. I know not only has Amsa shown that he can do it, but he's shown that if you really grind and dedicate a lot of time and invest your time into it, which is my philosophy from the start, you can become amazing. I recently watched some footage from Amsa from like 2014. He looks so bad compared to now. He looks so bad compared to now. And I am leveling up like crazy right now. And I am playing all these top players. I am getting all the exposure that I would need to be getting. I'm traveling for the game. I'm playing little bits here and there. And I'm still analyzing. I'm still grinding out tech skill as much as I should be. Because without me even wanting to be the best, I would not be putting as much energy, as much time, and have taken the risks that I've taken in my life to make controller modding a thing.
Yep.
I would not even want to do controller mods if it weren't for how hard I want to be, you know, doing it. How hard I want to go in this game. Because I want to go super hard. And I believe in myself. So, you know, without that, you know, I would not be trying this hard in controllers as well.
For sure.
So, yeah.
So there's always a chance, man. You can never count yourself out, and who knows? Maybe this Yoshi meta will turn up to the point that, you know, everyone's gonna have to fucking put some respect behind that name. Which, being a Yoshi player, there is this thought, and we addressed this a little bit ago. Actually, before I even touch on that, I want to let you know a quick tangent. When we were talking about names that people have kind of spliced together, another name you can put on that list. He's not as much of a player, but he is known for the documentary Samox.
Samox.
His tag is literally Samus and Fox. He just mixed the two because he just fucking liked them both. When I had him on the show and I asked that, I didn't either. When I had him on and I had to ask him about it, he was just like, yeah, it's literally something like that. I was like, that's so simplistic and I love it. Fucking love it. Gotta fuck with it. But anyway, just wanted to give you another name for your list. But the concept of being a Yoshi player, you know, and this untouched and untapped potential that some people just see in the character. You know, I've heard conversations that are like, well, if every character could parry, Yoshi would be shit. Or, and we talked about this a little bit, well, if Yoshi could jump out his shield, he would be an even better character. Like, where do you see Yoshi, and what do you see yourself really No, hold on. Where do you see Yoshi, and what do you see as a future for the character? Do you see this character evolving into something even better, or?
I see still so much more potential for Yoshi, because I think that with his double jump, he has some of the most options in the game, because he can distort his movement in so many ways that no other character can. And he can do it faster and more efficient than any other character in the game. He has parry, and that can be optimized so well. You can parry grabs, you can parry all these things. He has a very, very menacing punish game. His punish game is literally insane. There's no other character that can get like a solid punish string with just hits. Yoshi doesn't even have that good of a grab. With just hits on spaces, kind of the way Yoshi does. You know, he can chain things from 0%, not like a lot of other characters can. But the thing is that in order to chain them the way that Yoshi does, you have to be frame to 2 frame perfect. And Amsa believes that the reason why Yoshi is going to be viable is because all he needs is 1 frame. That's what Amsa has said, quote unquote. All Yoshi needs is 1 frame for the punish and for the parry. Those are the only 2 things that Amsa says that Yoshi needs. Punish and parry, 1 frame. And if Yoshi can get that, he can do it. He can do it. I have faith in him. I think in the next 2 years, Yoshi might move up to top 8. Next 2 years, just watch. Mark my word. People are going to be so scared to play Yoshi. Not only because of me, but because Amsa is going to get super good. Amsa's going to get I can guarantee you, maybe this year, I can literally guarantee Amsa will probably be Hungry Box another time this year. Amsa just got sponsored by Red Bull. He just quit his job that he's been working at, so he can go full time into Melee. He lives with Gucci, right? Who's also a very, very good Falcon player. I do see him beating, you know, Johnny, probably all the other Falcons, maybe Wizzy if he comes back. I see Amsa beating Zane. I literally see Amsa beating Mango, again, if they play. Only person I think Amsa will have trouble with is Leffen and Armada. But Armada's not here right now, right? So we got Leffen in the mix. But I think Amsa can beat everyone in the top 10 right now.
The Red 100%. Yoshis are going to rise up.
Red Yoshi's going to rise up, man. Seriously, I think the character is amazing. I think he's got a lot of untapped potential. And I think that with his parry, he can possibly be potential for one of the most broken characters in the game. Because that defies so much logic, and no other character has it. No other character has it, man.
That is a fact.
Yeah, and I definitely have a lot of faith. You know, I know there's like a lot of other players that play like Mario, Dr. Mario, or like Ganondorf, and they definitely don't feel that way about their characters, and they are good, right? They definitely see caps for their characters, but I see Yoshi going super far, and the Yoshi mains will know how good the character is,
For sure.
So I think the character can go super far. I have a lot of faith.
Is there a reason that you went with red Yoshi?
Red's always been my favorite color.
Okay.
That's like for sure. It wasn't always red. It was green, and it was green because I loved Yoshi. And then when I started to get older, I was like, red's fucking sick. And then I was like, wait a second, like Yoshi's my favorite character. Like I also like red, so it all just made sense.
For sure.
Right? It all came together, and Amsa maybe played a little bit of a role in there, but yeah, that's just a little bit. It's a little bit. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Did you ever mess around with like 64 back in the day?
Never.
No.
I honestly say this, that I really treated Melee as like a different game. Like I played a little bit of Smash 64, didn't like it. I hated Brawl, I hated PM, I hated Smash 4. Ultimate's alright.
Yeah.
But for the most part, dude, I love Melee, and I love games that are super technically precise. And that's why I've liked Third Strike. That's why I like Street Fighter 4. That's why I like Melee. Those games are extremely technically precise, and they have one frame inputs. And if it has that, it's gonna be my type of game, to be honest, dude. So Melee's that old school. It's got that nostalgia. It literally captures all the aspects of like the perfect fighting game. It's got nostalgia. It's got crazy punish game. The defense is fucking nutty. It's got so many mind games. The micro interactions that are involved in there. You have to be like so wary of all the neutral. There are footsies. You have projectiles. It literally captures everything from every fighting game ever. It has shades of Marvel vs. Capcom. It's got shades of Street Fighter. It's got shades of Tekken. It's got shades of everything, bro. So it's really, really cool to see, this game as every day as I do,
If you could go back in time, would you change your character, or would you stay with Yoshi?
I would 100% stay with Yoshi. That's my soul character, bro. I literally can't play any other character in the game. I can't play any other character in the game. I literally think that I would have still made Yoshi, 100%.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I originally played Pikachu, but like I always wanted to play Yoshi. I would like play Yoshi, but I felt like my Pikachu was better. But my friend was like, dude, your Pikachu is literally so bad. I don't even know why you're wasting your time with Pikachu. It's like not your character. I was like, dude, why are you saying that? And he's like, honestly, like, play me in a best of 5 right now. If I beat you, you never play Pikachu again. And I was like, all right, dude. And I played him, and then he beat me, and I've never touched Pikachu instead.
I may have done a very similar thing with friends of mine when it comes to drinking. We would have friends that claimed they were good Pikachus, and I would beat them with my Fox in best of 5s, and I'd say, "You're not. Stop! Don't ever think your Pikachu can beat me. If I'm drunk and I'm beating your Pikachu, fuck that. No."
There's some good shot games with Melee.
Oh yeah, that's.
I've done a couple of that time.
but obviously it was with juice, because Oh yeah,
obviously.
For legal, yeah, all that good shit. Water is a good liquid. So I guess my last two things to talk about here are streaming. You got the mod squad behind you. You got your fantastic supporters out there. How long have you been going at streaming for now?
So I actually started streaming September of 2017. That was when I started it. September of 2017. And I started that was like the start of my controller modding thing, right? Like, okay. I actually had streamed a little bit before that, but I had streamed just tournaments. I would actually go to tournaments, and I was a designated streamer for tournaments, because I actually really just wanted to help out the community. I love the community, and I actually was debating on being a TO, or like wanting to be a streamer for tournaments before I was doing controller modding. But I thought about it. Being a TO, being a streamer, it's kind of a thankless job. Yeah. And I felt like it would have been better for the overall community for me to get into controller mods, because there would obviously be other people, but I definitely, was that person that would bring the stream, and I would stream the tournaments. And then I stopped doing that because I, had to choose between the two, and I chose controller modding. And so I started doing that in September of 2017. And since then, I've basically been doing it almost every single day. You know, I'll take a day off here, take a day off there. And I took a month off once I had I had a little bit of I went to the hospital after Big House actually. Took like a month off for that because I really needed to recover. And for the most part though, it's basically been every single day for hours on end every single day. Streaming controller mods, hanging out with everyone, and basically having a good time. That's always what I want to do on stream. Always what I want to preach to everyone, have good vibes, and that's the memo of my stream, pretty much. So yeah,
I couldn't agree more. I feel like every time I've seen anyone come into your chat, it is one of the most excited. Yo, insert username here. Like you're always hyped to talk to your
what the fuck? Like, it's like yeah, exactly, dude. I love people, dude. I love people. I love everyone that tunes into my stream because it's like that's my little community. That's like our community, you know? It's like we're there together and we're all hanging out. I literally treat everyone like they're a person, like we're hanging out, you know? So it's like that. That's how I treat it, you know? And that's just me. I feel like a lot of streamers, you know, usually don't try to have that type of connection that I do with my chat, but I really try to keep everyone close, and that makes me feel super good. I've created little like sub communities in my community too, which is super cool. Like, you know, other people have picked up streaming from watching me because I'm like, yo, dude, like you should start streaming.
Yep.
Why don't you stream? You know, and then they start streaming, and then they get other people that are tuning into their streams, and it's like it's really really dope, man. I love influencing people to want to do more, to want to stream, to want to play Melee. And it's like super super awesome, dude, that I'm able to like influence people like that, you know? So
100%.
The stream is just an outlet for that.
It definitely should be. I'll never understand the mindset of the people that kind of like ignore their chats or something like that. That shit blows my mind, especially
yeah,
when,
dude.
like,
honestly,
what else are you doing? You're just playing the game on. What the fuck is the point? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
What's the point, dude? You need to have that connection. You need to have that connection. So yeah, I basically love streaming, and you know, now I think we're at 384 subs.
Let's go.
And the most I've ever had was like 529, and that was leading up to Genesis, because the grind up until Genesis was we were all in that battle together, bro.
Yeah,
we were all in that battle together, and it was like a crazy grind. Climbing up the fucking Mount Everest, bro.
Right.
We all did that together. And like what's cool is that I get to ask my stream and be interactive with them, like, yo guys, do you think this looks good on the controller? Or do you think this looks good? And they're like, yo, other one looks better. And I'm like, you know what?
You're right.
This one looks better. You know what? Yeah. So like we like make them together, you know, we like make the best controllers like together. It's also really dope for me because I get their opinion and everything too, you know, and I definitely like to hear a couple perspectives before I make up my mind.
100%.
That's definitely what I like to do.
Have you ever done like controller giveaways through your stream for your work job?
That's also 100%. That's also something that I'm very big about, because my philosophy is that if people are, you know, wanting to support me, I want to give back in any possible way. And my controllers are expensive, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, they're expensive. The controller prices are surging through the roof, so they're getting pricey. You know, and all the modifications, everything starts to add up. You know, they can get into like the $150, the $150 range. You know, and someone can literally get a controller for $5 for subbing for me, because I will enter all of my subs into a random giveaway. They will get a full notched out controller to whatever desire that they want. Usually, I'll do different types of giveaways for different sub numbers, and I'll usually have like a crazy controller here or there that I'll give away for like hitting 400 or hitting 500 subs. And it's really really hype, man. It's amazing that I've been able to like make so many people happy by giving them a free controller, and basically having that type of atmosphere in my stream that, like, you know, people know that they're giving to someone who really cares about them, and he wants to give back too. Like, you know, like I legit want to give back, because I love you guys. Like without my supporters, I wouldn't be here at all. I wouldn't be here, and I'm super grateful for that, and I want to show them that I'm grateful for that. And that's just one of my ways to show that, you know, I'm trying to be humble.
Oh yeah,
you know?
It's beyond humble, man. I can $5 for something that would cost a good amount of money. I mean, fuck it.
It's the livelihood of the people who play this game.
Yeah,
like it's a controller.
Yeah, it 100% is, and for how long it'll last them too. You know, people don't understand that. So
exactly. So
my last question about streaming is, and I don't know if you saw this one coming, but this is something that, like, this is a big deal. You know, I can't have beef on my show, And
Yeah.
I may or may not have had a certain guest on that you said you could beat the shit out of in Melee. He goes by the tag Ludwig. I
Oh
think
my god.
you said you could destroy him. Do you hold strong to that?
So, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. Ludwig is kind of a wiener. He's like one of the biggest wieners. And
What?
yeah, I legitimately think that I probably would beat him. Not on netplay though.
Oh,
My character's super hard on netplay. We actually did like a best of 5
okay.
one time on a stream, and I went to game 5, and then he beat me. He beat me 100%, and I got super salty. And I'm sure he likes to hold that against me, and he likes to tell everyone that he beat me because people have gone in my chat and been like, "Yo, Ludwig loves talking about beating you on his stream."
Oh shit.
But yeah, I would definitely like to see him in person. Put some money on it, that's for sure.
Well, let's go.
But maybe we might have to get a little Ludwig and Nez action going. But yeah, for the most part, I don't know. I respect Ludwig a lot. I respect Ludwig because he's a presence in the community. He has a thriving stream. He's a very charismatic personality, and he also is a figurehead. He's a figurehead. He actually has like a lot of influence on people, and I think that he has to be very smart in the way that he uses that. But I also think that he has one of the more cheaper forms of humor. But that's okay. I just think that Ludwig is not he's just a little bit of a wiener, and I don't like to talk too much trash because I'm not really like that mean of a person. I'm not mean at all, but he definitely gets me like salty sometimes because I've heard some things about him too, about him getting salty about other people in my region, and he's definitely like made some people uncomfortable too. So like it's pretty funny hearing Ludwig try to talk about it. But I definitely know some stuff about the guy, about him, bitching out over losing a couple matches. So,
there we go. There we
yeah.
go. The beef has been
Yeah,
settled.
100%.
It's only more kindled, and hopefully Nez v Ludwig sometime at a LAN. That would be fucking tight.
Honestly, I think it'll happen because I feel like me and Ludwig, like I don't know, he used to like follow me on Twitter. He hit me with that unfollow after he beat me.
Oh shit!
So he hit me with that unfollow, and then just haven't really talked to him since. And then yeah, he just like doesn't want to acknowledge. He just I feel like Ludwig thinks he's better than a lot of people as well. Like there was one of my friends doesn't really pay attention to the scene, but he's super homie, likes to hang out with all of us. He was commentating at this one local that Ludwig was commentating at. Ludwig was there by himself. My homie goes up to commentate with him, and he goes, "Oh, what's up, man? I'm Matt. Nice to meet you." And the guy goes, "Oh, nice to meet you, dude." He goes, "What's your name?" To Ludwig, and Ludwig goes, "You don't know who I am? You don't know me?"
Oof.
The guy's like, "No, I don't know you." He's like, anyways, and tries to go back to the match like that. Like, you should know me. And it's just like that. Like, I don't like those type. I don't like that type of I'm too cocky, like you should know who I am. Like, come on.
Fair enough.
Come on. If I were to do that, I would be like, "Oh, dude, like I'm Noah, dude. Like, nice to meet you." Like, I honestly I want new people to like be very encouraging to the scene, but he told me that he felt super uncomfortable, and it was just like, dude, it was like, why are you trying to be this like this fool?
Nah,
you know?
I gotcha.
But it's basically that.
Word. I think we can take that. We can take that. All right. Then
Yeah.
my last bit of conversation for us today, before I turn it over to any other chat questions may have missed or anything people got, is the beloved and fun section of the show, Tournament Tales. I bring up a tournament that you have attended, that you have been to, maybe played in, maybe not. Who knows?
Favorite tournament?
Well, I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna ask you like your favorite moment, your favorite set, favorite match, whatever your anything from it. So
I got it.
If you're to take a guess, what am I bringing up? Because I know you got the stream open. I'm not loading it till you guess.
What
tournament?
Is it anything OMSA related?
It might be.
OMSA Mujo King?
Well, no. First, I'm bringing up the tournament.
Oh, you bring up the tournament.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
you
what's
want me
the
to tell you
tournament? Yeah. What's the tournament you think I would bring up?
It's either Evo 2013
Or
Kings of Cali 4.
what if I told you that your boy Sicko in the chat had the hard read and made the right call on the Mango Homecoming?
The Mango Homecoming.
That's the tournament.
That's what he said. Let me see.
Well, he said the Mango, but I'm assuming he meant this one because you met. Oh wait, he says because he met me there. Oh mega lol. I'm actually dead. I thought he was saying because he met Mango, but I didn't read that all the way. I just saw an
That's
M.
so funny.
But the Mango,
dude.
the reason I'm bringing this tournament up is because you released a video as well on the
Yes.
Top Notch channel that I think is a great video that basically goes over, you know, what you've been doing, like who you are as a person, how you've created this business for yourself and all that. And that's another big reason why I really wanted to get you on here, was to go more into this. But I think that video was so good, and it looks like you had such a good experience there that it would be something you'd remember and something that you'll take away not only information but just knowledge from. So if you were to say favorite moment, favorite set, favorite match, anything at all from this tournament, just I'd love to hear what you thought about it and how things played out.
Okay, so I'd have to say my favorite. This tournament was actually super special to me because I was actually funded by the community to be here. So the community had actually chipped in money to get me a booth there, and then I had a booth and I did a little raffle, and I had someone take home a controller and everything. Did a bunch of controller mods. It was super fun, dude. But if I had to say one thing about that tournament, it would probably have to be when JoJo played on a NES controller, Mango's kid, versus whoever that he played.
Yeah.
That was so cute, dude. Oh my god. That was so cute. When
he four-stocked him, dude. God, dude. He
four-stocked him with the NES controller. Can you believe that? He had a NES controller, bro.
If that doesn't show talented controllers, I don't know what does.
That was amazing. But no, if we're being honest, I don't even remember who won that. I'm trying to remember who won that right now. Was it SFAT?
I want to say, wasn't that Leffen, or did Leffen drop back? No, what happened?
I don't think Leffen won. I'm trying to remember who won right now. He got the last summit spot, too.
Don't worry, I got this.
Yeah.
Leffen
won, but SFAT got summit spot. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so we were both, kind of right. Like, I said I thought SFAT won, but SFAT got the summit spot.
Right.
And then Leffen won. Okay, well.
Oh yeah, because Swedish got third. That was sick.
Yeah. So overall that tournament was super cool. But I also that was the first tournament that I ever had at my crew shooting for me, like doing the whole like that's where that video came from, right? Because the crew was like shooting me and everything. And we're also going to have a Genesis 6 video coming out pretty soon, which is going to be super cool, because that was the most amazing tournament that's ever happened to me, like ever. As far as the boost sales go, as far as, you know, just the atmosphere and the energy and the just the enjoyment of it, that tournament was through the roof. So I super love Genesis, and there's going to be another video on that coming out. But the Mango Homecoming was definitely super special to me because of community funding me, the video, and not only how much I got done, but there was also this player there that was super new, but he was very good at computer games, and he made me realize that he was willing to pay $100 for a new controller every 6 months. And I was like, damn, bro, are you serious? And he's like, oh yeah, in PC games, you got to do all this stuff, dude. Who knows, whatever, whenever your equipment can stop working. I totally believe this stuff. And then I talked with him, and we talked about him doing all this computer tournaments, and he was doing a lot of stuff for Fortnite at the time.
Okay.
And it made me realize that damn, these things happen in other games as well, and you know, it's legitimate. You know, it's super legitimate.
Yep.
So it was really cool talking to him for the most part. But yeah, I would say that tournament was definitely another grind, another one in the books.
Definitely. It seemed like a very a great atmosphere to be in, a good learning environment for business and all that. So, I mean, dude, that's about all that I've got. I'm looking for anything in chat I might have missed. I think this one by Sicko, where he said, you said early on that modding controllers allowed you to play with really good players. Who was the best player that you've played against, and which top player was the most fun to play with?
The best player that I've played against, I'll have to say, two people.
Mm-hmm.
Two people for sure. I've played literally everyone except for Hungrybox and like Zane. Actually, I have played Zane. Now I think about it. I thought that Mango and Armada and SFAT were actually really, really good. I thought SFAT was super good at just like walling me out like super well. I literally don't feel like a lot of foxes do it the way he does.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely him. His fox like caught me off guard hella. Usually I feel like I can do a lot more on foxes, but not his. And also Mango's Falco is crazy. It feels like I'm like always in a combo.
He's not playing melee. He's not even playing melee.
So weird. Like I feel like everything that I usually do that works is like it doesn't work on Mango.
It's fucking crazy.
So was super eye-opening to play Mango because after I played him, I literally got better at keeping myself disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would be like, oh, Mango would have punished me here. Like, I can't drop that. Like, there's no way I can drop that.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to me just usually being like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I'll just win this other neutral interaction, then I'll do it. This guy sucks. Like, that is terrible. That is terrible, right? And that is what a lot of players, like a lot of Ice Climber players are kind of like that too, which is funny. Yeah, like I feel like it's helped me to be disciplined with my play a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Playing Mango, playing these top players, and it's made me realize that like if I'm not, gonna be strict with how I'm playing, I'm gonna get punished so hard. So I have to say Armada, Mango, and SFAT for sure as the hardest people that I've definitely played in Melee.
And then the most fun person you've ever played?
King Momo was super fun to play. I remember playing that guy. That guy was freaking awesome to play. Also, playing Mango is super freaking fun.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny is also amazingly fun to play as well. I also really, really like to play against... Let me see. I'm also thinking, like... Lucky's also super fun to play, but I think I say that because, like, I think I do the best against him out of like all the top players. Like I probably have taken more games off Lucky than I have like anyone else.
Okay.
Yeah, and also Wes is really fun to play too. Wes is really fun to play as well. I really like playing Wes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd just get destroyed by all of them and just be upset, but no, fuck it, dude.
Yeah. It's actually really funny. Wes was my first like big win in 2016. It was actually like 2016.
No shit.
I actually beat Wes in a tournament, dude. I beat Wes in a tournament set, and Wes 2-0'd and 3-0'd everyone else that tournament, and then he just lost to me 2-1. And after that tournament, a lot of people hit me up, and they were like, "Yo, dude, like good shit, like beating Wes." And I like thought about it. I'm like, what? Like, I felt like such a big skill jump in the past 2 weeks. Like, I don't know what happened. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. I literally just started doing wave dash notches, and I added wave dash notches to my controller.
Mm-hmm.
I literally updated the fuck out of my controller, and I started to like schmoove that much more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit, dude! Like the word of wave dash notches, I'm gonna spread them.
Spread the good word of wave dash notches.
Yeah,
fuck
honestly. Yeah. And so I started to do that, and people had results with them too, and it was actually starting to blow my fucking mind, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really like, I don't know, a lot of being associated with the top players is very, very cool because you get a lot of I get a lot of help from the top players as far as my business, my brand goes.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you like are beating them, that makes it that much crazier, because then that means that not only are you a force to be reckoned with, that means that your word is that much more validated.
Right.
You know, so you have to have a certain level of knowledge of the game to even stand a chance against them. So, you know, that's definitely where it's at, and it's super. It's so humbling. I have so much respect for the people that body me in Melee, all the good players, because Yoshi doesn't get bodied like too hard, but when he gets bodied, and he gets bodied by people that are good at the game, like for real. Like I'm at a point now where if I get bodied, it's because you're good at the game,
right.
You know, and you know, playing them it's eye opening. It's just like, damn, I wish all these other people that I play would do this, but no. Only happens when you do it, and it just goes to show how crazy this game is, you know. And with that being said, man, it's insane. It's unfathomable that 4 years after the fact of me starting the game, I've been able to make a job for myself out of it. I've been able to sustain myself comfortably doing this. I've been able to build a stream following that I've wanted since I was a little kid. And I'm still here able to give a good service and make everyone happy. And at the end of the day, bro, it's not about the money. It's not, if it were about the money, I would have had a different mentality from the start.
Right.
But it's never about that. What it's about are the people that I meet along the way, and all of the smiles on the customers' faces when they shield drop and they start moving across that damn stage, bro. Oh my God. It is the best feeling. Whenever they send me a text or DM and they're like, Nez, dude, thank you so much for this controller. It feels so good. I literally got a text last night at 1 a.m. from a customer. And I'm going to read this out to you, word for word, what he said. And I took a screenshot of it. He literally said, and I quote, "Yo, Noah, are you going to Prime Saga? This new controller has won me countless locals since I got it from you at Genesis 6, and I want another one just like it. Seriously, man, what you do for Melee is God's work. Your controllers are the best I've ever felt, and I totally feel fine spending money on it. Haha." And I said, I'm actually not going to be at Prime Saga, but I'll be having an order queue opening up soon. I'll be at Saving Mr. Lombardi, though. And he goes, is Saving Lombardi next week? Because I may show up just to get another pre-done controller.
My man.
That's what he said, dude.
Fucking got it.
That's what he said. So, to me, that makes me way more happy than anything, bro. That makes me way more happy than anything. And that makes me super happy to continue to do this. And, you know, I see myself doing this for maybe like a year or two extra, like a year or two more. We'll see where we go from here, man. You know, I'm going to write out this year. I'm going to be taking some time off from controllers. In a little bit, I'm actually having surgery in a month. And that's going to really, really suck. I'm gonna have to basically be out of commission for about 3 months recovering from it. I have a really severe case of heartburn. Yeah. And it's GERD, gastroesophageal reflux, and it's an abnormal case. Medication does not do much for it anymore. I take about 6 pills every single day, and it does not help. I wake up every morning in pain, and I'm definitely like disabled in the mornings, bro, because it's an indescribable pain, and I've had to deal with this for well over a year and a half now, and I'm surprised I've made it this far with that pain, and that's the reason why I've had to go to the hospital countless times. Went, 2 times before Big House. I went at Big House, and I went 1 time after Big House. I almost went at Genesis. I almost went when I was coming back from Full Bloom 5, which just happened like a couple of weeks ago. Right. The same things happen, man, and I'm tired of it. I'm basically borderline getting a precancerous stomach lining because of how bad it is. And I'm going to be honest, part of it is how much I've worked on myself. A lot of it is I don't sleep that much. I don't sleep that well. Most of it is, just pent up energy, I feel like, and I just want to exert it all in my business. And, I'm out here streaming all this time, and it's really, really not normal streaming hours. Like, no. I stream a lot, bro. And, that's all, it's partly that I'm insomniac. It's partly that I don't get good sleep. It's partly that, I just really want to have a good business. And, the sleep definitely messes with your acidic levels in your stomach. That's for sure. And it definitely gets the best of me when I don't get sleep. And I sometimes pull these all-nighters when I'm at tournaments. So it definitely takes like a health toll on me. So that surgery, it's a pretty major surgery. I'm not going to be able to have solid foods for about a couple months. It's going to be a broth diet. and I'm ready. I had the surgery already when I was 9. It was that bad. It's gonna be the same exact surgery. It's just gonna be redone. Just my body, I grow, so the surgery comes undone.
Yeah.
So it's
not like is it something that's risky? Is this something that it's just like you're gonna go in, you're gonna get it done, it's gonna suck, but you'll be okay making it out in the end?
The odds of it curing and getting rid of the amount of pain that I have now are about in the 80 percentiles.
Okay.
So I'm confident. I'm confident in it. But there is a chance that it helps, but it isn't going to help to the way that we want it, and I'm still going to have to use the medication for the rest of my life to treat it.
Interesting.
And you know what? If that's what happens, I'm not going to let that hold me down, bro. I got too many controllers to notch. So I'm not going to let that be one of the things that hold me down. I'm not that type of person. Let that type of things hold let those type of things hold me down. I will keep on pushing and keep on persevering, because that is just who I am, bro. So Donut, I think that's like pretty much everything, right?
It's just about. I was gonna allude to the fact that you talked about in the beginning how you almost did military stuff. My God, if you don't sound like you got a military mindset on the way you're handling your fucking life, bro. You have discipline. You have this mentality of not giving up on something. You're hard working at what you got. I can't think of anything to describe yourself that you haven't done in any other way, my man. It's been insane to get to learn all this about you. Insane to get to talk with you we've been talking for like 2 hours now. I don't think I was expecting that by any means, but I loved it. I love it too. I love getting to learn all this information about people. I hope informing other people as well. My man, next like minute of yours, this is all you. Plug whatever you want to plug. Talk. This is you. This is your second.
All right, well, guys, it was super fun being on here. If you guys want to see more of me, if you guys want to, tune into my stream and follow me and just keep up to date with everything that I'm doing controller related. If you want to get a controller from me and just stay up to date, follow me on Twitter at n3zmodgod, and also give me a follow on Twitch. Consider subscribing. That helps me, and it'll also help you if you want to get into my controller giveaways or anything like that. Please go to twitch.tv/n3zmodgod. I love what I do, guys. This is insane that I'm able to do this. I was literally gonna join the fucking military, bro, and this is what saved me. I actually stayed up for 60 hours at Genesis 5 because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it and that it was something that was gonna be sustainable. And it's sustainable. I'm doing it. It's alive. I love Melee and I love you guys. Donut, thank you so much for having me on, bro. I really, really appreciate it.
Man, any time ever. It's been an absolute blast. All the links to anything we discussed today that we weren't able to put on screen will be in the video description when this is uploaded to YouTube. Everything should be up in like a day or two. Again,
my website at Top Notch Controllers is also a thing, but I do have that being in the works right now. It's down right now, but it's gonna be up in the next couple months, guys. So be sure to check that out.
Did you fix what I messaged you about yet, or?
I actually messaged my guy. Don't talk about it.
We're good.
We know what to talk about.
Anyway, guys, it's been an absolute blast. Nez, thank you again so much for coming on. Noah, you deserve all the success you got, man. I'm excited to see where you go from here, and I want that fucking jacket when it comes out. But you know what?
Dude, be in my DMs. Be in my DMs.
I got you. We'll talk. Otherwise, everyone, y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Thank you, guys. Yo, peace out, Donut.